At 6.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. Industrial ISD will host a board meeting August 14th, just one day before 4 students from the district are expected in court. The school district hosted a meeting August 7th with no mention of the incident, but one man spoke out, but the school board failed to acknowledge his comments. This meeting's agenda only involves items like the district's budget or property insurance. However, the community could voice their opinions this week since they did not have the opportunity last week. The meeting is August 14th, starting at 6 p.m. in the Industrial ISD Administration Building. The court hearing is August 15th, starting at 9 a.m. in the Jackson County Courthouse. However, there are over 100 people on the docket, so we do not know exactly when the 4 students will take the stand. ERCOT has extended a weather watch for a second straight week. ERCOT extended the weather watch through next Friday, August 18th. The extension due to 100-plus degree high temperatures, higher electrical demand, and the potential for lower reserves. ERCOT says power grid conditions are expected to be normal during a weather watch. All right, time to talk weather on this Sunday night. We're going to go ahead and check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie, we've mentioned that weather alert. Looks like those 100-degree temperatures, and then, like you said, those heat indices. I think last night the sun was down, and it still looked like heat indices in the triple digits.
No, you're right, Adam. Last night, whenever 10 o'clock show, 10:15, heat indices still pushing 100, 105. Got a good portion of the viewing area. A little bit cooler today. We were 115, 116 and counting yesterday at this time here in Victoria. So maybe a little bit of cloud cover, a little less moisture. And yeah, those overall calculated heat index temperatures have come down, but hey, do we even notice it? There's still lots of sunshine and still very much on the hot side. But hey, a little bit of breeze action going on helps us feel just a little bit better. But we're looking to stay on the hot side with the potential for some showers that we'll touch on in my full forecast coming up in just a bit, Adam.
All right, thanks, Howie. Monday and Tuesday, Ben Wilson Street will close between Airline Road and Red River Street so that crews can begin erecting a clock tower at UHV. All homes and businesses in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the $7.2 million Ben Wilson Street Airline Road to U.S. Highway Business 59 project. The Loop 463 bridge widening project will continue with nightly road closures on Zacklands Parkway from U.S. Highway Business 59 to Lone Tree Road. The closures start next Monday night at 7 and will run through Tuesday morning at 5. At least 93 people have died on Maui after wildfires tore through the western side of the island. President Biden has signed a federal disaster declaration, freeing up federal resources to help with the recovery.
You just want to see what's left, but nothing.
Nothing. All gone.
In West Maui, a new wildfire broke out overnight, forcing residents in Ka'anapali to evacuate. Hawaii emergency management records show there were no warning sirens alerting people to evacuate. Instead, alerts went to cell phones, TVs, and radio stations. But power and cellular outages limited their reach. Kessa Stoddart and her family lost their home.
No warning. We are supposed to get, on your cell phone evacuation notices, alerts. We got nothing.
The flames also tearing through this Kula neighborhood. Akani Joseph's father spent decades building this multi-generational home. It's now completely gone.
There's things you think you'll always have. Like things you think you'll give to your children.
The community coming together to help, some taking to the water to bring in supplies to those stranded. Nurse practitioner Natalie Plotkin hoping she can help.
We're going to go down to Mala. We heard there's some people down there that have a lot of burn wounds, so we're going to go check it out.
And the Cajun Navy, known for its work during disasters along the Gulf Coast, now in Maui.
People think it's the fire or the flood or the tornado. It's really the crisis and the aftermath, and that's what we're here to do, is to look after the people, really the elderly.
FEMA is providing federal assistance, but keep in mind the lack of power, communication, internet is making it so difficult for families to reunite with loved ones that are missing. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Maui.
So your viewer poll tonight, do you know anyone who's traveled to Hawaii amid those deadly wildfires, or maybe know someone that's stuck there? Let's take a look at these results. Let's see. Well, we don't have them right now, but if you'll vote, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we'll have what you and your neighbors are saying at 25 News Now tonight at 10. It was a frantic scene at a Los Angeles mall this weekend when masked individuals stormed a department store, making off with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. LAPD said the theft happened around 4 p.m. Saturday at a Nordstrom in the Westfield Topanga Mall. The mob of between 30 to 50 people were reportedly using bear spray on security guards who confronted them. The LAPD said the thieves took off with an estimated $60,000 to $100,000 worth of luxury handbags and high-end clothing, leaving a scene in several cars. So far, no arrests have been reported. LAPD says it has several investigative leads and will exhaust all efforts to find those responsible. Airfares are dropping as summer travel season wraps up. Some positive news for travelers during this hot, humid, and expensive summer. Airfares reportedly dropping as the travel season wraps up later this month. The latest data from travel site Hopper says the average domestic round trip right now is $257. That's down 11% compared to last year, but experts say prices often drop off late in the summer. Other factors include the lowering price of jet fuel and increased airline capacities. However, the seasonal dip in prices is only for a short time before they climb back up again. All right, grab your cell phone, scan this QR code. That's a quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Learn about our ongoing contest and submit news tips, videos, and photos. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5:30. 2024 Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is facing another possible indictment.
All right, we'll talk about our extended heat wave and potential for some showers coming up.
Police in Lansing, Michigan handcuffed and detained a 12-year-old boy as he was taking out the trash. They say they were looking for a car thief.
This morning, growing outrage after police in Lansing, Michigan detained a 12-year-old boy while he was taking out the trash.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Tayshawn Bernard's father says he asked his son to take the trash to their apartment complex's dumpster. Well, when he didn't return after a few minutes, he went outside to find his son handcuffed and being placed in the back of a police cruiser. The boy released moments later, but lawyers for the family say he's still distraught.
He's been so traumatized that he does not want to go outside. He doesn't want to take the trash out. He doesn't even want to check the mail.
The Lansing Police Department posted an explanation on Facebook stating an officer was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Bernard wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him.
Our client wasn't wearing a white shirt. In fact, our client was wearing a light gray colored shirt.
The department also issuing an apology saying, "Our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve."
He wasn't in the wrong place, nor was this the wrong time. He was in the right place, his home.
A massive hazmat fire broke out at a Glendale, Arizona recycling plant this weekend. The Glendale Fire Department said crews responded to the plant at around 6 p.m. Saturday after reports that a semi-truck and its trailer were on fire. Police were first on scene and reported an explosion, likely a fuel tank on the truck. The blaze was quickly upgraded to a second alarm hazmat fire due to the fuel on the ground and the plastics burning the fire. The GFD Glendale Fire Department said crews were able to contain the blaze. So far, no injuries have been reported. The cause of that fire under investigation. A man involved in a crash stole an ambulance in Virginia and hit multiple cars on I-395, according to police. Authorities say the driver of the stolen ambulance hit at least 10 cars on the interstate before being arrested Saturday afternoon. Virginia State Police pursued the ambulance into the district, where it stopped after a final crash. Arlington County Fire and Emergency Medical Services said the ambulance belonged to their department, adding that the crew involved was unharmed and the vehicle was recovered. Police say the suspect was taken into custody without incident. 2024 Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is facing another possible indictment this week over his alleged efforts to interfere with the 2020 election results in Georgia. Meanwhile, as President Biden seeks re-election, his son Hunter is facing his own legal troubles.
Donald Trump is leading in the polls against his Republican opponents as he seeks the GOP presidential nomination, but his legal troubles are mounting. The former president facing a possible fourth indictment this week for his alleged attempts to interfere in the 2020 election outcome in Georgia. During a phone call in January of 2021, Trump urged Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes for him to win Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has said her work is accomplished, and at least 2 witnesses said they've been called to testify early this week before a grand jury. Trump has been unsuccessful in trying to disqualify Willis from prosecuting him, and he has denied all wrongdoing. Gabriel Sterling, a Republican and top Georgia elections official, has repeatedly rebuked the former president's claims of fraud, telling ABC's This Week he thinks Trump's rhetoric, including a recent campaign ad attacking Willis, could lead to violence once again.
We've been saying this over and over again. We counted the ballots 3 times. He lost this state, and he continues to say he didn't lose it, and it's just creating a lot of tension and a lot of chaos.
Meanwhile, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is facing his own legal challenges. He was set to plead guilty to misdemeanor tax charges last month, and he would have agreed to a pretrial diversion on a separate gun charge, but the deal collapsed. And on Friday, Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed David Weiss as special counsel to oversee his years-long investigation into Hunter Biden. His attorney speaking out on CBS's Face the Nation.
I'm confident that if this prosecutor does what has been done for the last 5 years, look at the facts, the evidence, and the law, then the only conclusion can be what the conclusion was on July 26. It's new evidence. There's no new evidence to be found.
Prosecutors saying in court filings the parties are at an impasse in negotiations and the government believes the case will not resolve short of a trial. The judge has given Hunter Biden until Monday to respond. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, Atlanta.
For more on today's news stories, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. And you can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Looks like a hurricane. Well, for now, I'm going to talk about another hurricane out there. We're going to talk about potential rain as well. All right, so here's what we'll start off with. Yeah, above average temperatures, heat indices 115 plus. Now, I've been touching on that rain. A week from now, a little more, decent rain chances, but maybe early in this week, we might see a touch of rain, which we'll go over in the next couple of minutes. But we hit 101 today, nowhere near what we saw back in 1962 at 107 degrees. I mean, is there a big difference? Either way, it's very hot. Even though we stayed around average 96, it's another hot day here in South Texas. I talked about it just a few moments ago. Well, yeah, some nice breeze action going on. We have a little bit of a tug and pull between the highs and the lows. And yes, we're seeing 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts in some spots. That keeps the air movement not as stagnant. The only thing is causing some problems for fire weather. We have some red flag warnings and some fire weather concerns. So if you're going to try not to burn really at the moment with the winds the way they are. If a fire starts, it can spread rapidly, very, very quickly. We don't want any problems. Yeah, that's the only bad thing with these winds and this dry vegetation. Humidity's on the lower side, and yes, as hot as it's been. All right, another heat advisory and excessive heat warnings going on until about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Some temperatures at 115 plus, especially further west or even some areas outside of the viewing area. All right, in the 80s on the coast, yeah, a little drier out to the west, but then we're seeing some hotter temperatures out there as well. A little more incoming solar radiation from the sun. Either way, very hot pretty much right across South Texas. Here's our heat indices. Yeah, yesterday this time, for a brief few minutes here and there, we were at 115, 116, so about 7, 8 degrees cooler, but still very much on the hot, oppressive side. 110 in Cuero, up there in Gonzales right now, 112 with that real feel. Here's our future for our heat indices. Here is what we got. So yeah, they look to go down later in the week. Our high pressure looks to slowly move away and not be covering us up anymore. That can allow some cloud cover, some moisture, and maybe even some rain showers. This is what I'm talking about. Here's the high just protecting us, diverting all storm activity around. Any storms that want to move in start to deteriorate quickly in that stable environment. But as the high starts to move away from us, closer to the west coast or desert southwest and further away from the Gulf, it allows some of that Gulf action, the moisture, cloud development to start occurring. And if that happens, we could see some rain showers. So here's the most eastern periphery of the high. We could start to see potential rain maybe in that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Here's what we got for our future tracker. Nothing too heavy, nothing too consistent. But I talked about Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe some of that action can start to move into the viewing area. Now the chances are on the lower side. I'm going to keep it at 20 to 30%. But hey, that's our best effort in a long time. We'll have to hope for it. 91 for our water. Seas 2 to 3, but still bays are going to remain on the smooth side. All right, Hurricane Fernanda. Yes, another one out there in the Pacific. Another couple other disturbances looking to develop as well. Potential for tropical storm development in the coming days with conducive environments, conducive atmospheric environments. Now, it's 5,000-mile journey and then some. That is Dora. That's right. Was Hurricane Dora and then Typhoon Dora, now Tropical Storm Dora, maybe starting to fizzle out as it crosses all the way across the entire Pacific Ocean. 80s this evening, overnight dropping down to 78 degrees. Then for tomorrow, that's right back at it, 101. Heat indices pushing 111 degrees. Lots of sun all week, hot temperatures, but maybe a chance as the high slides off, maybe some rain. I know it's low percentages, but that's the best we've seen in a long, long time here in South Texas. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstay.com, and that is free on the Android and iPhone. And Zach said, send it over to him for sports.
Thank you, Howie. We've got high school football coming up around the corner. That's coming up in sports. We are just about 2 weeks out from the start of high school football season, but for now, we've got some scrimmages. At Goliad High School on Friday, the Refugio Bobcats and Goliad Tigers went at it. This would have been a great game, let alone a scrimmage. Great catches, hard hits, even some chippiness out on the field on Friday. Both of these teams have high hopes coming into this season. The Bobcats looking to make it back to the state title game and maybe win another state championship. Goliad has a bit of a quarterback controversy, but same thing. They have very high expectations. Both teams look pretty good defensively. The Dallas Cowboys back in action last night, playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cooper Rush went off for 10 of 12 for 83 yards, but didn't have any touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence on the other side went 5 of 6 with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Final score in this one saw Jacksonville with the 28-23 win. But these scores don't really matter in the preseason. A huge positive on the day was running back Deuce Vaughn with 8 carries and 50 yards on the day. But how about this play? You couldn't really be mad about it if you're a Dallas fan. They do a great job of getting to the quarterback, but he somehow stays on his feet with a man dragging him down, fires a strike for a touchdown with under 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Dak Prescott looked on in disbelief. That leads us to your viewer poll. Were you pleased overall with the Cowboys' performance from last night? Of course, a lot of starters, including Dak, not playing its preseason, but a lot of you guys, 60% say yes, 40% say no. It's week 1 of the preseason. I don't know what you could really hope to see. Jose Urquidy for the Astros, switching to the MLB side of things. Jose Urquidy returned, pitched an incredible game. Only problem is that his run support was incredibly bad. The lone Astros run came from a wild pitch. The Angels win 2-1. In San Francisco, the Rangers would tie the game in the 9th at 1 apiece. They would take the lead in the 10th inning, but the Giants 2-run homer for the walk-off win. Final score in extras, Giants 3, Rangers 2. NBA stars gave their Hall of Fame introduction speeches last night. Greg Popovich, Dwayne Wade, Tony Parker, and Pau Gasol, who had this to say about Kobe Bryant.
I wouldn't be here without you, brother. I wish more than anything that you and Gigi were here today with us. I miss you and love you.
What a night for Spurs Nation as well. Tony Parker inducted and Greg Popovich, who recently signed an extension to remain in San Antonio. Parker played a role in 4 championships for the Spurs. Greg Popovich now trying to regain the NBA's top dog status with first overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. That's it for your sports. Adam, back to you.
All right, thanks, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up, some new artwork in Cuero showing support for the Gobblers. Experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Some new artwork in Cuero. Artist and muralist Rafael Acosta Jr. posted that this was completed last week. So if you want to check it out, it's on the north wall of the business Donut Palace. And the owner said they wanted to show support for the Cuero football program. Acosta has done murals all over Cuero and beyond. So if you take a drive through Main Street or there in downtown Cuero, you are bound to see some of his great artwork.
Well, we're going to be in Cuero a whole lot coming up pretty soon with the Crossroads football live season starting. And I hate to give this away early, but might as well go on and say it. That week 1 matchup between El Campo and the Cuero Gobblers, probably going to be the game of the week. So I'll probably have a chance to check out that mural then. And also a fun time in Cuero. Savion Patton, who played for the Cuero Gobblers, recently signed to an NFL team, the Atlanta Falcons. Hopefully,
awesome.
Fingers crossed everything goes well there.
So they've got a good program in Cuero, I think.
I like the grass, the weeds kind of hanging off it, like very natural. That's very, very, very cool. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, very, very
Looks
cool.
very Christmassy.
Christmassy. And I actually saw a truck yesterday. That's the Chicago Bears emblem, but orange. That's what hit me right away. But that's the Cuero Gobblers. That's a really cool thing. Now, we're going to need some more rain if you want it to grow like that. And we might have a chance of a few showers earlier in the week. But for now, that's right. The heat jets, the heat furnace, whatever you want to call it, still on and blowing on all cylinders, 100 plus right across the viewing area. Some spots in the triple, well, I don't want to call it triple, 110 plus. Now, that is triple digits, 100. But then this evening will be in the 80s. Overnight, drop it down to 78 for tomorrow. Here is what we have. 101, heat indice, 111 degrees, and looking ahead, I talked about it. If you're watching earlier, the high pressure slides off and some moisture moves in. I know it's low. We got some 20% chance of rain opportunities early in the week.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach. Thanks, Howie. Thank you all for joining us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a great week.